So it should be 2 years then.
Wow. We have to go back to that.
Because
It could go back, you can fight that. That could be a fight.
I'm trying to understand.
Because the charter, it wasn't changed properly. Because it says 2 years right now.
Almost 15 years.
Mhm.
Us is turned into way back a lot.
They changed about ordinance in 70 something.
So 4 years. So we got different
Yeah.
places now, so
But they didn't change it the right way because the charter changed. The change is supposed to be by the vote. They didn't do it that way. They did it by an ordinance.
Mission change for 4 years.
Yeah,
One new
by ordinance.
It should be 2 years.
Excuse me?
Because if somebody's gonna
White
do
guy.
that, people should have 2 years.
Instead of waiting 4 years.
Oh,
And all the other customers, families.
okay.
Some of them.
Y'all
Some of them are
solid.
saying
If it don't, we do.
Well, I'm in the girl.
Got my boots.
Ms. Harden will not be here today. She's in Alabama at a funeral.
I'm
But Brother
dedicated.
Charles is supposed to be here. You're welcome. Thank you. How'd you feel that? What?
Yeah, I did.
You did?
Still there, okay.
Well,
High school, college, you still gotta do it too. Well, you know what I'm saying, for, kids who
Yeah, that's right.
get there in school.
Yeah,
They're
gotta
supposed to check up on these
That's a great thing.
That's right, that's what you're saying.
That's right.
Why you gonna tell me that shit? Come on now.
Great
You
thing.
be lying.
Yeah.
That was a great idea.
It's so good.
And
I mean, it wasn't- it wasn't
And
It just happened.
Oh, yeah.
Make it special. Maybe.
All right.
Oh, boy. But I'm.
Thank you, Commissioner.
So I don't see,
I know
Brother
you
Charles supposed to be here.
Smaller than that.
Hard, like I said, she's not gonna be here. Yeah, she's at the funeral, so we can go on to my item.
All right, let's call this meeting to order and go to item number 2.
2 and 3 are kind of tied in.
Okay, 2 and 3.
So, good evening, everyone.
Good evening, everybody. We have a couple items for discussion and
On board.
those who, Mr. Dunn, we called the meeting, we started, I know you didn't know. We started, and so we're talking about the polling locations, and speaking to city clerk. We have 2 locations that need to be changed. One is MLK because the school is closed, and so they're calling, we need to change, find a new location, which she has a proposed one. And also the Business Growth Center, which has been sold, but the building is not in the greatest condition, so we want to bring the voting location inward. So she'll talk about those 2 items. Madam Clerk, the floor is yours.
Thank you. I have 2 locations that I'm proposing to change the locations to. For 2, we're looking at the Benton Harbor Public Library. It's right across the street from City Hall. Harbor Towers, those residents are from Second Ward, so it's easily accessible to the voters. We have adequate parking. We have enough room in the building. We can use the meeting room, we can use rooms downstairs. This is at no cost to the city. They aren't charging us anything to use the facility. But we will have a 2-year agreement to review the memorandum of understanding for this facility. It has an elevator, so it's handicap accessible. It's just a great location, in my opinion, for Second Ward voters.
Harbor Towers.
No, the library.
The library.
Yes, the library. So that's one of the locations. And then for Fourth Ward, it's currently in the Pawpaw 200 Pawpaw Business Growth Center. I am proposing to change that location to the Virginia Edwards Center. It is across the street from the development where Fourth Ward voters currently live. They would just have to go across the street to vote. Adequate parking, the rooms inside the facility are spacious enough for us to set up equipment and accommodate for big elections. The only difference with this facility, they are requesting a fee of $200 for each election, or each time we use it.
Okay.
And that's just to cover like their cost for having a maintenance person on call for that entire day and all of that. And we have that money budgeted in my clerk's budget. they will both, polling locations will allow me to set up the day before the election, like I do right now for the schools. And for the Virginia Edwards Center, the MOU is, we have an indefinite agreement. So there's a termination clause that we're working out. Right now, I think they said 30 days, but I need more time for that. So we're working out some logistics of the agreement, and I'll send that out once it's done before it goes to the commission for approval.
Is there any questions or comments by the committee before we open up for the audience?
Yes, to the chair, yes, being on the library board myself, we have discussed this location as a voting place. And we said it'd be a nice, well, a great place for people to come to. Like you said, have the parking and it's right in a good location. So I'm agreeing with the library being a good spot. And even the Virginia Edwards Center was better than the two Paw Paw. I walked through the Paw Paw building. And it was, as soon as I walked in, they said, "It's cold in here. What you?" It's cold in here. So I think you want the voters to feel comfortable, and so I think that'll be a good location.
So I came a little late, so I don't know if I missed it, but what is wrong with the second ward location? If it was in the school.
That school is closed. So they only let us
open
use
it
it
up for that.
just for the voting purposes for the August and general election, and now we have to find another location.
Okay.
Any questions or comments from the audience on this particular item before we move forward?
I guess I'm not sure, Commissioner Mary Alice Adams, if it's in fact a question more or less of a statement, because if the Virginia Edwards building is one of the arms of the city government, why do we have to be paying them? Do we pay to pick up some of the trash that's left outside of some of their homes? The city taxpayers incur their costs. I mean, it's a great idea that for a polling location for various reasons, especially with it being in a housing development where there are a great number of residents. But being that we function together as a unit, I think that it's time they do their fair share.
Thank you.
I mean, I tried to, we did lower it. It's normally $350, I think, for someone to rent that out. But again, the reasons behind it was having a person on call, having staff members that they don't pay is for our purpose, and they're asking for that fee.
That makes sense.
I would ask
to
that.
pay an employee to be there
Right.
until, so that's
Open
kind
and close,
Open
open
and
Monday and Tuesday, so that will cover that. So I talked to them, I tried to get that reduced or eliminated, but that they couldn't do it.
I understand.
I've rented through the chair, the building before, and I had to call someone to open and call them back to close. And I don't see why that can't happen in this instance. I would ask that you send something over to the housing development person in charge and ask him to waive that fee.
I've asked, that's staff member.
But if we go ask,
Okay.
they need to come before us and answer some stuff. There needs to be some changes over there too.
I mean, but if they don't waive it, which,
If they don't
Who is
waive it,
they?
the Benton Harbor Housing Commission.
Oh, yeah.
go ahead, sir.
Since we're such good friends with the Benton Harbor Housing Commission, why do we have to have our people going to the library to go vote? We can't find nowhere else. We can't talk to our friends and get a better polling place than the library. Library is supposed to be for basically for one thing only.
So to answer that question, so those two places, or the library is a place where we're looking to put second ward, and it's actually a good location because a lot of people use the library. We have many of the housing places is close. It's actually closer than MLK school where people can actually walk. And so it's actually a really good location to, in my opinion, to, for people to go and vote. And so the goal was to make it easy. Voting should be one of the easiest things that people should be able to do. And that location is really accessible by people on foot, more so than MLK is, if it wasn't closing.
Well, I love any reason to get people to come downtown, but I just thought you might want to figure something else out. It's a lot of people, and it is supposed to be for one purpose, mostly. I mean, you talk about voters going upstairs to vote.
I think so in that
We'll
community.
have, there's a number of rooms that we can use. We can use rooms downstairs, we can use the meeting room.
Okay, well, I'll leave it all up to you guys. It's just that to me, I don't think it's a great idea.
If you have another suggestion about a location.
I don't, that's why I asked, is this the last suggestion you guys had?
So, Mr. Duncan, we looked at a lot of, well, first of all, we're limited to buildings inside the city that we can use that will accommodate and meet all of the requirements we need for a polling location. So to me, that was a perfect one, location-wise, building size-wise, parking size, all of that was, to me, a good location to have the voters there. So, you know, we try to stay away from churches and things like that, but we are very limited in the city limits to facilities.
That was a good question, Mr. Duncan. Thank you for that question.
Is this for second and fourth ward?
Yes, 2 buildings for second, one for second, the library for second ward, Virginia Edwards Center for fourth ward.
Oh, okay. So my only concern is that elevators almost as worse as ours. And not, if we have a big turnout and you're on the second floor.
But I already have a remedy for that. We thought about that.
Okay.
So what we were doing, we have what we call curbside voting. But what I'll have is 2 workers downstairs at all times or be downstairs for someone to vote. If they don't want to walk the stairs, if they can't walk the stairs, then we'll accommodate them in that way. Or they don't have to. We can have them set up a booth downstairs for them to vote down there. So we already have that.
I knew that you had an answer for it, Madam Clerk. And did I hear $350 for who?
That's just for the general public to use the Virginia Edwards Center. They're asking, no, but I did say 350 for the general public. But for us, it's 200.
And it's in the community room?
Where you can use the gym or the community room, but it's in that building on Maywood.
Okay, because when we do Kiwanza there, we only pay $150, and we're not partnering with them. So after the hearing what was going on with the housing commission, I think they're trying to jack us up $50. You said,
I said, yeah, 200.
Yeah, they're trying to jack us up $50 for what?
I don't know, but I'll go back and
When
talk.
we do Kiwanza, it's only $150.
Okay, that's good to know. That's why it's here for discussion. So I'll go back and talk to them before I bring the final MOU for approval. I'll let you know.
City manager, one of the issues that we were dealing with, can you see if we could get that? Because I agree with my colleagues, we should not be paying them to do something that is, like that voting. We should not have to pay them to do that. For somebody to open the building and close it, they're not giving any other assistance other than opening the building and closing it.
I think they have to clean up too.
Yeah, they
What kind
And
of?
This is not a lot of money, but if they can.
But we'll work with them,
$50,
we'll talk to them
Let's see what we
again.
can do.
see what we can do.
Sure.
Yeah, go ahead.
Through the chair, we do have a janitor though. He'd probably be more than happy to gain a little extra money working
You mean the
overtime.
city?
To hit the bathrooms and clean up over there. My question though, to the clerk through the chair, will the voting at the library have any type of impact on the voting in City Hall? Or that will remain the same?
The AB County Board?
AV or those that come in and early vote?
Oh, no, it'll still
It'll remain
remain.
the
Yeah,
same.
that's just for second ward vote.
Thank you.
on election day.
Yeah.
Just to the chair, Commissioner Henry, being on library board, we just invested money into the elevator, so it will be working at 100%.
But if not, we have
It's
a,
working right now.
How about our DNX?
Just invested.
Their elevator gonna be working.
It's working right now.
Is it a time frame on that?
It's working right now.
Was it one on ours?
Expect great things.
Right.
Working too.
and one more comment, and not to put a rush to this, we'll work out the logistics before we come to the city commission. We have a March 10th presidential primary. So with that said, we can't change the location 60 days left of an election, so kind of have
Let's
to.
do it now.
Yeah,
Well, we're trying to get it, I'm trying to get it either the next meeting in November or the first meeting in December to get it approved. So that I can send out the notices to voters and meet all the deadlines.
Get the communication out.
Yep,
The most attractive feature I'm hearing about the library is that it's close to the people over here in town.
and Fourth Ward, that
And nobody has
development
to
is
buy
right
them
across the
something
street,
to
that's
eat.
Fourth Ward. So it's
Take them to vote.
right there. They can walk right across the street and go vote. And both.
Oh, man, as long as they go.
So,
Good deal.
we're agreeing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
With, we're gonna check into the pavement.
So we'll check into all that. I will forward the MOUs, the proposed MOUs to the commission beforehand. And then, then we'll move forward with trying to get
Before our
it
next
approved.
meeting.
I'll work on
Before our
that, yeah.
next meeting.
yeah. And if not, then I'll still wait until I can get it before you, so you can have time to review, and then we'll send it, the latest in December, first meeting in December, but I'm shooting for next week.
Thank you. The next item on our agenda is discussion of recreational marijuana ordinance.
Mhm.
And I think I asked Commissioner Isom to put this on the agenda because we were trying to get this, this ordinance worked out, so it's not being prolonged any longer.
Yes.
So did you,
We did work on this. I talked to the city manager and he's working with, the medical marijuana ordinance too. We, consulted, city manager consulted Mr. Audrey Peoples. She's, like, educated. She's like a yeah, she knows the legislation, how it works and how, implement of this thing. She has 17 years experience more.
Something
So she was helping out on ordinance, but we want to get the most out of this ordinance, like benefit packages and we can do for the community. So we want to make sure this ordinance is, I'm sure it'll be sort of similar to the medical or.
Yeah, they can both work, and what a lot of municipalities are doing is that it's the same language.
Mhm.
And I just want to stress how deeply I am and how deeply I feel about cannabis.
Mhm.
And I mean, I could spend the next week talking about the benefits from a medicinal standpoint, but I am so excited to be able to do this work. Like I tell people all the time, I could be anywhere in the world,
Mhm.
literally. But I'm here to do this work. I know the money is here. A lot of people don't have this conception. The money's here, it's waiting, it's waiting very patiently to work with the city. But make no mistake, other municipalities are rolling out the red carpet for these people. They wanna set up shop in Benton Harbor. There's Novo, there's Bill Solar, who I personally know, and he's all about Benton Harbor. But then there's E. Hicks, who also, I believe she wants to use the Paw building for perhaps a provisioning center. But outside of that, the benefits for Benton Harbor, we can write in an excess tax. We can determine what percentage we want. We can do 2% for schools, we can do 2% for streets, we can do 1%, but Benton Harbor is going to capitalize on this. And it's very important that Benton Harbor does capitalize on it because the money is here and in a minute, they're gonna be prepared to work around Benton Harbor. And we wanna make sure that that doesn't happen. Novo right now has 65 jobs, and that's just the beginning. He's buying property all over the place. We just bought similar property right across the street, and I would really hate to see Benton Harbor lose out, because that's township.
Okay.
And so that, I was just kind of here to just let everybody know that I am totally all about Benton Harbor and making sure, we're talking millions, and I know it doesn't seem conceivable, but we're talking millions of dollars in income and revenue for the city.
did you have a sample of the the ordinance that you wanted to present?
I've been working on it. It is extensive, and I just spoke with the attorney today, and he has something similar, so we're going to be actually working together. I was trying to have something presentable because of the elections, and then I have something going in Chicago and all of that, so I didn't get a chance to finish writing it. But certainly, with the next meeting, there will definitely be something so that the committees can take a look at it. And the language is so much more different than the ordinance that's currently standing, which is from 2016. That's over 3 years ago. All of that information is obsolete. Everything is basically stricken off that old ordinance.
So because it is a working document right now, so can we send it to, the public, see if we can send it to public safety, and then it'll go to the next committee? So for every committee that's coming up, it'll go through all those committees, and then it'll come back to legislation, and then we can pass it on to, but it would be great if it could go through every committee, so that everybody could look at it multiple times, and we can continue to work on it. So as things are noticed, they can be changed or added or edited. So we could put it on every committee's agenda from this point on.
Yeah, and every committee member can have
Yeah.
an idea of what they would like to put in terms of the excess taxes, to benefit Benton Harbor. I mean, the sky is literally the limit.
Yes.
Commissioner Adams.
Thank you, through the chair. I can't believe that we're here again when every commissioner had their opportunity to give their input, but everybody wasn't for it then. And they still had the opportunity along the way. I heard the young lady mention something about the work that she's done, I think from Chicago, Illinois or something.
Here in Michigan.
Okay. The lawyers that has been working very closely with Lansing's law on municipal use of medical marijuana as well as recreational, but we won't talk about that. Because it'll come into play with this one when Lansing is finished with the law of recreational. The only thing that's wrong with the now ordinance is that it needs to be tweaked. And it needs to be tweaked to fit the applications that have already been not accepted, but the applications that have been put in. We need to have an attorney, a professional, to tell us what's legal and what's not.
I have 17 years
I would,
Chicago law.
excuse me, sweetie, I have the floor. I'm just going to use myself as an excuse. If I knew that the city of Benton Harbor was taking applications and I read everything that was written and I followed all of that, and after so long and paid my money for you to come before, and I've sat in here and I've told you what I want to help do for my community, and you're already aware of the tax dollars that you will get annually through the state, from the state, having to pay the state, and creating jobs for your community, for you to come back and tell me something about, you want me to put together a community benefits package, I would go next door and take my business. I'm sure some people will probably be all right with that. But maybe for the next go round of applications, something like that should be in place. But to me, it would be bad business if you've ever been a business person.
Commissioner Adams, remember we opted out, and we opted out until we.
No, I'm not talking about it.
No, I'm saying, so what you're talking about is different.
I'm talking about the.
No, what we're talking about now, remember we opted out, in order to opt in, we're talking about recreational marijuana.
Why you didn't stop me before now?
Because I didn't, I mean, you went on a tangent, so I'm just like.
No. But I can.
We opted out, so we have to do
Okay,
this
but.
ordinance, that's what I'm saying, that's why,
Okay,
that's
and
what
I
I'm saying this.
apologize.
That's why we're saying this.
But I can still go on because.
No,
No. The state of Michigan is going to do something to tie in what licenses they issue out for recreational, for sales of shops.
Yeah, but we need our own.
I know, I'm aware of that, and I'm glad that we have somebody here with that experience.
Mhm.
And maybe that will be, I agree, the time, because this is a new, and I'm gonna leave it there.
Thank you.
I thought we were talking about trying to change
Nuh-uh.
something else, but because I requested that he would put that on the agenda, that's why I thought it was
Just for recreational, because we opted out.
Yeah. to tweak the ordinance.
Oh, no, that wasn't that.
Okay, all right. I'll leave that alone.
Just for
I'm gonna
recreation.
leave it.
But good, I
Thank
thought
you.
I was in another world on this one.
I didn't, I was just.
Okay, so and Chair, I think it's a great idea to kick the can down the road this time. So if each, committee touches it in one way or the other
Yeah.
and pushes it on,
This
we should have something done
Yeah.
way before the 6 months, because I want this money to start flowing in.
Oh, they want next month.
So if we're ready next week with it,
They don't know.
will you be ready next week?
We're just waiting on a couple of details. But yeah, hopefully we should be able to get started next week, hopefully Monday.
No, Wednesday.
No, she's saying,
In terms of paperwork, in terms of, stuff that the committees, the various committees. are looking at. And I will be working, with the attorney of Benton Harbor, and I do want to, I have 17 years of Chicago law. I just want to throw that out there, so I'm very astute, and that in fact, I was hired in with locks down my backside to the largest law firm in the world, Baker McKenzie, and I spent the last 4 years of my legal career there.
I was already sold.
Okay.
Tomorrow, so the thing about many commissioners, and I'm one of those people, information is powerful. Once
It
you
is.
get the correct information and
It
you
is.
understand what it is you're trying to do, then you can make really informed decisions. And so, like I said, I'm one of those people, information is powerful and it helps to
Yeah.
make really good decisions. So it's a good decision to let every committee touch that and to look at it, and then it comes back and then it's approved. So, go ahead.
Great.
That's what happened with the mayor.
Can I ask a question about, out of, the discussed item about medical marijuana, so I can have an understanding of where we are?
To who
Recreational.
are you,
Should stop me.
So-
This is recreational. This is
I will take
recreational.
over in a few moments, 'cause I
And you
told
should
I
stop
had-
me.
Yeah, go ahead. Go ahead. Can you-
Thank you. I just want,
Before we move on, do we agree to move this item, if we can,
The
city clerk
recreation,
to the
yes.
next, to public safety, we ask Mr.
Aye, Commissioner.
Okay. Thanks, Commissioner Henderson.
Thank you, guys.
You got any questions?
No.
I just like to know where we are
I didn't get it.
on, medical marijuana. I heard the city manager say it's a month off. And I've been in a meeting and it caused me to have
You got sick?
indigestion.
You did? You got sick?
Because for a month, another month, it's just, but I know it's gonna happen, so I need to have more information about where we are on that. I'm looking at the provision center. I already know we're not gonna make a lot of money on growth. The growers, we're not gonna make a lot of money on them unless we give them a community benefit agreement.
Mhm.
And they're all ready, but we have to ask them for what we want.
Mhm.
And we have to make the decision if whatever it is that we want, they're gonna give it to us.
Okay.
I can guarantee you. So I'm just really interested in the provision center because they're the ones that's gonna make us money. And how close are we to,
City manager.
making it, getting it to the body?
City manager.
I've been listening to all this discussion and I'm saying, who's the city manager over here?
Yeah, that's what we've been saying for a long time.
We see your smoke, sir.
I thought so. Just so, just so you'll understand, she doesn't work for the city yet. Okay,
Hey,
so I want you to, I want to make sure it's clear,
Okay.
all right? And, Ms. Peoples made a good presentation here before,
Yeah.
and I said I was gonna remember the marijuana guru. And since that time, we've talked, And we have not made a decision yet on what we're going to do because we've been doing some other things in marijuana. Our clerk has been tied up in elections, so we've been moving. I don't want to use kicking the can down the road, but we've been moving along. And we're hoping to have those to you at the meeting in December.
First meeting.
First week of December, correct?
The second week, the second meeting in December, I think it is. We hope
Oh, the second commission meeting.
we hope to have the packages to you, we're shooting for the 22nd, to have the packages to you.
November?
Yes, so that you'll have plenty of time to review them. And then we're hoping to have a session where you can do your interviewing at that time on about the 16th.
Good.
My question is, why do we have to have an interview if they all pass?
Because you only have so many
Process.
allotted for so many spots allotted.
Well, I like to see it go through committee so we can put our community,
No.
our community benefit package together as a whole, as this a committee.
Right.
I like to see us actually make that decision through committee. And
Recreational.
then bring it to bring our recommendations or whatever to the body. But I want us to be able to make that decision.
This is not recreation.
Wait just a minute. No, I'm trying to talk and y'all trying to interrupt me.
We're trying to figure out which one you're talking about, Commissioner.
I'm talking about recreation, I'm talking about medical right now.
The ordinance is made already.
Exactly.
Beg your pardon?
Won't happen.
The ordinance is made already though, so.
Well, yes, the ordinance is there, but, and you guys are talking about tweaking it, but I'm only talking about the process.
Okay.
I would like the process to come back to each committee whenever, and you didn't answer my question about the provision, and if they're gonna be available anytime before the 22nd of December, or is it gonna be the total package that's gonna be available December the 22nd?
We're gonna have the total package
Of one apple.
with no.
Oh.
Well, we met with 3 today. I met with 2 or 3 last week, and before that 2. So we're heading towards where we were trying to go.
So on
And we have
December,
more next week.
on December, we will have a total package of all the applicants.
That's
The
what-
growers, the provision, the whatever else that was applied for.
what we're shooting for. If there's an adjustment needed, I'll let you know.
Do you have the provision, any of them already approved?
No, you have to approve.
No.
I don't.
I mean, recommendation, have any of them been approved? Because when I looked at the document,
Yes,
it said denied or approved.
yes.
So is there
The
any
staff,
of
the
them,
staff approvals have been done.
have any of them
Yes.
been approved?
Not
Yes.
without us.
No, she's talking about the staff. She's talking about
I
the
know,
staff.
they have been.
You interrupted me again.
Point of order.
But we're talking about medical marijuana.
No, you interrupted me, please. I'm trying to get an understanding what the city manager is saying. But if we have already approved them, any of them, can they come to us?
They will be coming to
In
you.
December.
Can we get them now if they're approved?
You can't get them now because they have to go back and get their packages together and get the packages to you. And they're putting together 9 packages for each of you council members. And we're gonna go to the planning commission on the 1st. The first, what day is second of
Tuesday,
December?
December.
Yeah.
Whatever the first Tuesday is.
Whatever the first Tuesday is, we're planning to take them to the planning commission and then to the city commission.
How many do you have? Can we break them up? Do we have to dig into all of them and everyone have different guidelines? The provision area is different from the growers and and the,
I understand.
can we break them up? Cause it's a lot. I'm already looking at
Don't break
us
mine up.
going around and around our eyeballs and trying to figure out.
Don't break mine up. Send it.
You can't help yourself, can you?
Like you.
Come on.
You finna, you
Okay, don't say nothing,
Point of
Commissioner,
order, come
don't
on,
say nothing.
Commissioner.
Yeah, just keep going, keep going.
Commissioner Evans, please.
Can we break them up and take them as,
I'll break them,
Provisions growing.
I'll make sure they're broken
That's a
up.
good idea.
and can we get the ones that you have, that staff has approved completely? And can we start addressing those now?
No, you can't get them now because they have to go back and finish the items that we negotiated on, get their packages together, and they're gonna have them here for the 22nd.
So they're gonna be different than what they first submitted?
They're gonna have the corrections done. All of the deficiencies will be answered.
Right now, they're incomplete, Commissioner. So when we get them, they'll be complete packages. That's what he's saying. When we get them, they'll be complete. Right now,
That
they're
is correct.
incomplete for different reasons or for different, different reasons. So when we get them back, they'll be complete.
Well, I'll ask you then, Chair, have you looked at the applications and the process?
I'm going by.
I asked you a
I
question,
have not.
did you, Commissioner,
Pardon?
did you look at the applicants and the process?
The process? Well, the process.
Did you look at the application?
No, I did not.
Okay, I just wanted to know. Cause what I'm seeing is gonna be a lot. And we need to break them down.
I already said- I already
He already
said-
said that he would do it.
No, you wanna give it to us all at once.
No, he said he
And that's,
I said all of the provision, all of the ones that we have in that category will come to you at one time.
In the different
Um,
categories.
in December the 22nd, you're gonna bring them all to us at once.
No.
Y'all,
No,
we having a hard time distilling, understanding what's going on. And now you're gonna bring us,
Commissioner,
Commissioner Harry, you're not hearing.
well, let me hear it again so I can,
November
I'm finna
20.
drink my coffee.
I hope so.
Okay, come on. Come on, and tell me again so I can understand, I'm sorry.
No, that's okay, it's okay, November 22nd.
22nd.
We're gonna get the provision and the growing and the.
No, no, you're gonna get them in the order that we have. We're gonna work on one category, so we'll get you the category that you want broken down into the categories.
Grow, process, provision, and transportation. Three. We can circulate them around to the,
Do you know what that did? You know our RFP, it just, you see us,
Commissioner Harry. Commissioner Harry.
I ain't calling it, I understand, but you see the process ain't working for us now. What do you think is gonna happen when we get three?
Why is the
Different-
process not
What
working?
you suggest, what we doing, what's your suggestion?
I just
That
said
you explain this to us.
to give it to us as they're approved and let us make a decision about it. That gives us an opportunity to put, if it's a community benefit agreement or whatever it is that we wanna ask for, that gives us time. But if we get all three at one time,
We're gonna
I
do
can
it.
guarantee you,
That's not what he said, Commissioner. He said that he's gonna give us each one of the categories at once. So we'll be able to look at all of the people who submitted provisioning at one time. So he's gonna break the categories up, so.
then
we'll
you
look
gonna
at
give
them.
us the other two twins.
And so after we finish looking at those, then we'll get an opportunity to look at the next set and then the next set. So all three will be broken down. So you have one provision that you'll look at all of those people who submitted in that category. And then we'll be able to make a decision after we look at those. And then we'll get the next category.
When do we come together as a body to ask for community benefit package?
In December,
I
when
think
you
that-
have an opportunity to sit down with the applicants.
So we're not gonna finish this project until March, April. We're here already in December. It's gonna take us,
3 more years.
it's gonna take us it's gonna take us, and I'm talking about us. It's
Send
gonna-
me my papers.
we're gonna be at it No, what?
We're gonna try to expedite.
You didn't expedite the other one, we
See,
still,
we just talking about this. Relax,
Okay.
take a deep breath.
I'm going by past practice.
Let's try something.
This body here, this ain't nothing new.
Let's try
Commissioner,
something.
do you have a question?
Yes,
Okay, I think we tried.
it's
to answer
not
it.
working if you're gonna give it to us like this. We're gonna be forever working on it. He gonna give us how many for the provision? 13 or whatever he give us, then we go and work on it, and then he's gonna give the other 2 at a later date. I can guarantee you, it's gonna be like a slip. It is not gonna work because of our mentality.
You speak for your own mentality.
Right.
I'm speaking,
Yeah.
I'm speaking.
Commissioner Harry, thank you. So, if you have another way, so I would suggest this, if you have something else that you feel that will work better, please submit that to the city manager and.
I just told him.
We'll go from there. He just.
Y'all missed it too?
We didn't miss it.
Oh, you don't agree that we should separate them and have them
In
move?
different categories, right?
Now,
That's what,
no,
They're not complete though, Commissioner. If
He
it's not
got some
complete, why would
complete.
we get
he
something
got
that's
some
not
complete,
incomplete?
don't you, city
You just
manager?
said that they're not
May
complete.
I?
You tell me,
He said
After-
that-
after-
Commissioner
14
Harris,
months, we have none complete?
Almost 15 minutes.
I didn't know you 14 months ago.
No, I'm asking you,
He said that there was.
there is
I said-
none
I said-
complete now?
I said, we have met with them,
You have a
and they
question?
have to go back and make their
I think so.
corrections and get their packages in the order that they should be to come to you.
I'm gonna take my
said
apology
it
back
here.
through the chair. Because when I was talking about medical marijuana, I got pretty much the same thing. So my question is, not only a question, but a statement, because we've had this discussion and we were under the assumption that as they were completed, the commissions would get them, but that didn't happen thanks to you know who. But, to keep this process moving forward, if all provisionings are done, all of whatever is done, send me, man.
That's what he said.
Cause I'll take the time to take care of people's business.
That's what he said.
No,
Yeah, I'm just
December.
saying, I'm not gonna think of it as an overload for me to get everything at one time in their proper perspective. Send me what is complete, and I'd really appreciate it through the chair. Thank
Yeah,
you.
that's essentially, that's what he's saying.
No, it's not.
Yes, it is.
It
I'm
is what
right
he
here.
said,
I'm right
Commissioner.
here, Commissioner. Yes, it is what it is.
Maybe, you can, I think I heard that same thing, and maybe we'll get her, because you might think I'm biased, and I'm not.
Well, I know she don't know how
She runs a business, so.
dysfunctional we are.
So if I'm understanding,
What she's saying is it's gonna take the commissioners a long
yeah,
time.
that's
It
what.
may take her a
That's
long
what
time.
she's saying, but
It may take her a long time, so she would have to speak for herself.
well, I say,
I'm just going
That's
to
what she-
if you're going off experience, I think it's a great call out, so you can spearhead it to make sure it doesn't happen this time. You know what I'm saying? Like you spearhead it, you say, hey, this has happened in the past, we don't have the time to do this, we have to be very efficient, and we have to get it done timely. So you can spearhead that, and then we can be like, oh, yay.
I can't understand.
Ms. Henry, she made a change.
He said he kinda understand
okay,
what
I understand what she's saying, but I'm saying we will have it to you. That's what I'm saying. Now, after that, all I can do.
I don't know, I think you guys can do it. I think
Yes.
if you
Yes.
put it on your agenda, you can even set a time goal, I think you can do it.
Through chair, congratulations. Congratulations. And I'm glad that I came back. I came back for another reason. I'm going to wait. But we have been begging now for almost a year or some to, when we gonna see them? When we gonna see them? Now they're coming.
Dysfunctional.
So you guys can go home.
No, I'm not going home, I haven't been home yet.
Yes, nice girl.
6:45.
Say it over and over.
It's like we prolonging this anyway. Just to me, I know I'm not doing any of the work. All I got is something to say about it. But talking about kicking the can down the road is like dragging your feet down the road is what we doing. Medical marijuana should be more accessible right now. After our last city manager, we got a new city manager, he's swamped. And I don't know what kind of help he needs. He might need some help from you guys. He can't take any of my help, but he can take some of you guys' help. Maybe you guys find more time to figure this out where we won't be talking about the middle of next year. Because that's the way it look right now. Look like June, July. You know, we get the smiles and we get all of that, but when it comes down to trying to get things done, I know you got a lot of things to do. You got a lot of other stuff to do other than city business, but this is something that citizens voted for, like they voted for y'all. So when you smile and say, wait 2 more weeks, wait 2 more weeks, wait. Hey, you know how that make the citizen feel, especially when he's sick and hurting and would like to have all of this taken care of, so you won't have to be looking all crazy. So just speed up the process. Call in some extra work. You need some help. You need another lawyer. Let me say that, because a lawyer what would have been about medical marijuana for the citizens. And he said he didn't know about it, but he was involved in 2 or 3 other different marijuana businesses. So he had all the information, but he slowed us down, and we still slowed down. I would suggest, as a citizen, get us a lawyer for our own when it comes to marijuana, because this is the last damn straw with him about some medical marijuana, and we still 2 or 3 months down the road. So that's my suggestion. I hope you guys take it to heart, because he is not what we need on our team.
Thank you, Mr. Duncan.
Let me just say, I respect the concerns about the lawyer, but I also have been working with the lawyer the past month that I've been here. And the lawyer has been working, he's been working with me. And we've been moving this process.
I believe that.
Yeah. But I want you to hear from me.
I believe.
Yeah.
I believe. I'm just
That's why
anxious.
you're
I
understand.
don't want nobody dragging,
Right.
not getting this done, and smiling in my face and holding the process up and all of that stuff.
No.
But we didn't live that already.
Yeah, he's not gonna do any dragging with me.
Okay, sir.
Nobody.
I don't think is there any other questions or concerns? Any, before we move forward? This meeting is adjourned. Thank you.
Thank you.
Mayor, congratulations, Mayor. We don't share.
That's right.
We don't share. And I'm hoping that these next 4 years will be better.